It is worth notice that while uploading a family into the project, we transfer a large group of objects and parameters with it. For instance, the user subcategories and their settings created in a family. Also, we transfer materials, fill patterns, line styles, shared parameters, nested families if the shared parameter is switched on in them, as well as another needless waste. So, before saving your family into your library and before loading it into the project, you have to clean it out of the garbage. On the Manage tab, there is a Purge Unused command to clean up the family. Not only can you use that option for a family, but for the project files too. The tool works as follows. It finds the objects that aren't placed in a model space and aren't attached to the objects placed in the model space. For example, materials or text types which aren't involved in any placed family instance. If you click OK, all those objects will be deleted. The program has just found 29 unused elements. If we roll out the lists, we will see exact objects that will be deleted. Generally, you have to be very careful while using this tool, as things that you have intentionally uploaded into the family and haven't had time to place or use yet could be deleted. In our case, we have alternative versions of the nested door panels, and only one of them is used simultaneously. So, if we click OK, the second panel will be deleted, but we wouldn't like to do that. I'll remove the checkboxes for both the door family and its type. We can delete all the other things allocated here, except for the doors. Click OK. Let's activate the Purge Unused command once again. Logically, only 2 objects should have been left here, but there are 6 of them. The fact is, after deleting particular objects, other ones that were used inside of them aren't used now. This may refer to materials or nested families involved in the deleted objects, which we didn't view as unused until that moment. I'll remove the checkboxes from doors once again and repeat the command. Let's double check. Now there isn't anything unnecessary left. Click Cancel. The Purge Unused command doesn't delete absolutely all the needless objects transferred into the project from the family file. For instance, you won't be able to remove subcategories like that. You won't delete the line patterns and fill patterns as well. So, we will have to remove these objects manually. Let's start with the fill patterns. We don't use any of them, so we can select them all and delete. Solid fill is the system fill pattern involved in any Revit file, so you can't delete it. There are 2 types of fill patterns, drafting and model, but there aren't any model fill patterns in this file. Now let's consider the line patterns. There are lots of them, and all of them will be transferred into the project. However, it is quite difficult to understand which lines are currently used and which are not. For instance, some line patterns are involved in the display of the reference planes graphic, or in the indication of the elevation door opening symbols. Before removal, you have to make sure whether we use the line patterns for the objects created by ourselves or not. You can check it in the Object Styles window. We can't remove many standard materials with the Purge Unused command, but we can do that manually. To do that, select the material and click Delete. Then repeat this activity with all the other needless materials. So we're using glass, stainless steel, wood. We don't need anything else. Last but not least, we have to pay attention to the shared parameters. We can't remove the needless shared parameter by standard Revit tools. It's available only through the macros or Dynamo script. But there is a problem with the shared ones. If they are already uploaded into the project, we won't be able to remove them out easily, and they will be specified for certain elements. This can lead to unwanted mistakes in the information structure. Well, there aren't any shared parameters in our door family, so we don't have to worry. But if there were, we could find them and delete them with the Family Types window. However, they still would be transferred into the project and wouldn't be deleted from the file. We can check if there are any needless parameters in our file, for example, via the Revit Lookup plugin. Using the SnoopDB option. All elements from the file are listed here. If there isn't a shared parameters line, they are not present in this file. I'll open the cube family that we have already created in the first lesson of this education module and apply the same command for it. Here, a shared parameter line is present. If you roll this line out, we will see 3 parameters we were created earlier. We need these parameters, so we shouldn't delete them. But if we had to, we would do that in the following way. Find the ID attribute. Copy its value. Then go to the Manage tab. Activate the Select by ID command. Insert copied number here and click OK. It will be specified on the Properties panel that there is a single element selected. Then you have to click Delete on the keyboard, and the parameter will be removed from the file. This is one of the options of how you can get rid of the shared parameter completely. Plugin works in the same way in the project files. Keep in mind that if the parameter has the data, it will be lost after removing the parameter. Pay attention to the fact that when we select a particular family instance in the project, its view displays in the Properties panel. The software doesn't form such display randomly, but due to the view installed while saving the family. You can create a special view, such as 3D or any other for this purpose. You can also do this with any existing view if we don't need it for the family editing. For instance, I will use View 1. I should hide extra objects such as walls. And change the visual style. Then select File, Save As command. Click Options. Select Configured View in the thumbnail preview. Our door is completely ready.